Okay, hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're returning, thank you so much for continuing to support and returning to watch these videos. I really appreciate you. And if you're brand new, thank you as well. Welcome, and I'm so happy to have you. My hope for this channel is to continue to build up a community of like-minded people that are looking for a space free of judgment, full acceptance, and just empowerment in our paths and on our journeys in life. It's a roller coaster as it is, and now with all the energies exploding in every area and all of the chaos going on Earth and the ascension of Earth and ourselves, it's becoming quite interesting, to say the least. So super positive and inspiring and magical right now, actually. But also a lot of people I feel are going through some darkness right now. Ascension is in the air. Enlightenment is in the air, but with that comes heavy emotions. I mean, it's not that, they're nice words. Enlightenment and awakening, they sound nice and they sound pleasant and they sound peaceful, right? And at one point that you do get to a state of peace, eventually you do get to that state of peace, but especially when we're first kind of opening up or shifts are first happening, it can feel extremely unsettling. And so if, I'm talking a lot about that, so maybe that needs to come through right now for some people. Like maybe some people are in a little bit of inner conflict or inner turmoil as they're opening up and re-understanding, themselves, their environment around them, reality as they know it for some people. And if that's you right now, just because I'm talking a lot about it, if that's you right now, you're going to be okay. And you are okay right now. It might not feel like you are. But inwardly, I can't speak to like your external, right? But like inwardly, you will be okay and you will get through it. And you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. And if you just need to go inward for a while and hermit, then do that. Because a lot of people are going through processes like that right now. So no shame if you need to disconnect, get quiet, go inside, and, all those words or stories that come in about, you should get back out there, or you should be moving, or you should be contributing, or like whatever. That's all just programmed into us from a lifetime of being taught that like, we're here to work really hard, right? And we're here to serve other people. But it wasn't always in a way of grace. It was more in a way of like, put yourself second. Okay. So yeah, if you're going through that right now, go easy on yourself and allow that to happen. Allow the darkness to come, allow the moods, the emotions, the uncertainty to just kind of flow through you. And know that you are okay. You got 2 feet on the ground. Mother Earth has got you. And we're all going through this together. We're all going through this together. So yeah, anyway, let's get back to this or the reading itself. So anyway, I did get a little thing earlier in the shower. It was an image that came to me that was, it was like a white picket fence. That in the earth, the ground within the fence was all kind of turned up, and they had like little mini tractors, like little kid tractors almost, but the land was all, the ground, the earth, and that little tiny fenced area was all turned up and all disheveled, and it looked like some kids were in there getting their hands dirty and like turning over earth, turning over they're just getting their hands in there, breaking the earth apart, digging it up. I'm not sure, but if they know what they're working on to create, or if they're just like getting their hands in the mud and they're just having fun and seeing what comes from it. I'm not sure. But the point is like outside of these 4 fences it's sitting on this huge acreage, like this massive farmland. And, there's a huge grazing field and the big barns and meadows and all this stuff, but we're only turning up and working with this little area of land. So I'm not sure if it feels to me like it's symbolic of like this like inner kind of child excitement that's getting its hands dirty and trying to, and wanting to turn over a new leaf, wanting to turn up, you know, stuff that's in their life right now, and uproot stuff, maybe like uproot stuff and build anew, like build upon a new foundation. Like, let's tear up this old foundation, pull the roots out, and see what we can build anew. But we're only doing it, and we're only allowing ourselves to do it in this little fenced off area. We've put our fences here and we're doing it in this area, but there's all of this land around us that we're not looking at, we're not working with, we're not, alchemizing. So we'll see how that fits in, but that's something that I got. As I was shuffling, I wanted to get an overall theme before we started. So as I was shuffling, cards that came out were inverted three of cups, the Emperor, and inverted two of cups. I also got the words revolution, which, you know, goes hand in hand with this channel, and the word confident. So immediately, like, looking at the Emperor with the word confident, I feel like they kind of go together. Emperor is in charge, large and in charge, can be authority, can be large structures, you know, like structures in society, like big banks or courthouse, I don't know, different things like that. Sorry. These two came together, Emperor and confident. As well as your soul shines, success and transformation, and fall in love with your own story. You've got the inverted two of cups, the inverted three of cups. Fall in love with your own story. Also, as I was shuffling, I saw the inverted three of swords. And the other day in a reading, I had a triangle. The triangle came up, and I've been thinking about that. And it was also with the three of cups and the three of pentacles. And then this came out and it said, fall in love with your own story. And it has the three circles again, which is kind of like the three of pentacles, also a three again, also like triangle. Also, I saw the three of swords, which is can be considered a triangle, right? Three, symbolically, I guess. And what was the other thing and as I was shuffling, I saw Karmic Cycles in this deck that I have, my word deck. And in that, I have a picture actually of three arrows going around, like karmic circles, round and round. So I feel like if you've been watching all of my videos, I feel like they're all linked together in some way. And maybe not for everyone, like definitely won't be for every single person in this situation. But I feel like if you have watched my other videos, I feel like this also can tie into that in some ways. I'm getting at, like, it can be a separate reading, but anyway, because we have so the Emperor is like in his authority, okay? He's confident. There's revolution card here, and there's success and transformation. So it seems like there's some kind of take charge, or even if you're not taking full action, it seems like you're sitting pretty, like, in your confidence, like on your throne of, like, I have that, you know, you're either going through a transformation right now, and there is success in this as you are becoming the Emperor and more in your power, and you have the confidence throughout this transformation, or you're aware that there will be success and transformation because you're the Emperor and you are confident and understand what's going on. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, let's just get more cards, because I feel like the inverted two of cups and the inverted three of cups, it's like, yeah, you're the Emperor, but it's like fall in love with your own story, and that's the number 9, and it's the inverted two of cups. So it's like maybe, and the inverted three of cups, which is like could be withdrawn. Like, yeah, not in the community, not connecting with the community and your social groups and your friends or your relationships, your close relationships. Inverted two of cups also could be a close relationship, could be a love romance relationship, but also could just be like a best friend or a soulmate, in terms of like someone that you've had karmic cycles with, or past lives with, or there's like deep soul bonds. And And this card of Two of Cups, and it's inverted. So it's like you're in your power in some way, but there's an imbalance within your relationships, possibly, or community around you. And it's saying to fall in love with your own story. Like maybe your relationships are feeling a little rocky, or you're not feeling fulfilled in the community that's around you right now, or you don't have any community around you right now. But it's saying, like, fall in love with your own story. Like, and it's number 9, which is like a closing number, which is like a closing chapter, which is like, I also had an image of a leaf that with a bunch of water droplets on it, and that was it. And that came up earlier with right before the farm image. So it feels like that's a new leaf, and like the raindrops on the leaf to me make me think of like a dew in the morning, like a crisp new dawn. You know, all the birds are waking up in the morning and chirping. The sun is just coming up over the hills. There's dew on the leaves. Like, it's fresh and crisp and new, a new leaf. So it feels like there's a closing with the number 9, and maybe a new leaf is being turned, and you're the Emperor and you're confident in this revolution or transformation that's happening in your life. But it seems like you're disconnected from community or relationships or something. But it also says your soul shines. So that's positive. I mean, and that's number 7. So that makes me think that you're connected to some kind of like spiritual wisdom or whatever it is that you're confident in trying to revolutionize in your life, or recognizing as a transformation that needs to happen in your life, or that currently is happening in your life. It seems like you're connected to that spiritual wisdom side of like your soul shines. You are the Emperor and your soul shines. It's like spiritual authority in your life. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Spirit, can I get some cards to just clarify the inverted 3 of Cups, please? Got 2 here. Death. So transformation, and you got success and transformation in your oracle card as well. And the Death, which is a rebirth, transformation, and inverted King of Wands. A lot of the same cards. This one's also sticking out. And I flipped it up like that, so I'm going to take it like that. 9 of Cups. So inverted. Okay, so no action. It maybe potentially could be the inverted King of Wands. There's no action yet, but we're in, you know, you're in your spiritual authority maybe as this Emperor, like your soul shines, there's success and transformation. You're going through an inner transformation right now maybe. And the revolution is that you are finding your own confidence to be able to fall in love with your own story, not someone else's story, not what someone else has told you should be your story or your path. Your own story, your own desires, your own truth, your own wishes. You got the 9 of Cups upright, your own wishes. Okay, so inverted 3 of Cups. There's a rebirth happening, and the King of Wands is inverted. So not stepping out, not maybe you're a little bit of that hermit energy right now, in your spiritual authority, going through your transformation and trying to fall in love with your own story right now, like trying to, maybe that's what's happening. Can I get a card for the 2 of Cups, please? The inverted 2 of Cups. Get a clarification card for the inverted Chariot, inverted 10 of Cups. Okay, so I feel like it might not be for everyone, but I definitely feel like it could involve family or family relationships close in the home. I'm not sure, but you have both the inverted 2 and the 10 of Cups together. So relationships, definitely relationships, and even probably potentially people in your home, in your household or immediate family, some kind of an imbalance there. And the inverted Chariot as well. So that's not taking action, okay? So you're the Emperor, so you're in your spiritual authority. That's what I'm getting from this. You're the Emperor that's in your spiritual authority. Your soul shines. You got the 7 here. You're connected to your spiritual knowledge, your spiritual wisdom. Okay, so you're in your spiritual authority, so your success in this transformation and of what you're going through. Okay, you're transforming. Okay? You're falling in love with your own story, okay? Or that's the advice maybe. We haven't asked that question, but maybe that's the advice. To bring it full circle, maybe. And maybe this could be the karmic cycle, because I saw karmic cycle earlier. So this could be the cycles of, however you want to look at it, could be the cycles, but it's like fall in love with your own story. So it's like maybe a lesson that we need to work through we need to work. A lesson that we need to overcome is self-love, and we need to fall in love with our own story and know that we are enough as we are, and that we don't need outside validation to prove that we know what's best for us. Like, we don't know that. We're the emperor, and we're in our spiritual authority, and we're confident, okay? We're having a confident revolution. I love that the revolution card came out. But you're not necessarily charging out and taking action right now, because you're the inverted chariot and the inverted king of wands. Okay, so you're not necessarily stepping out and taking action towards your wish fulfillment, okay? Not necessarily doing that at this time. Or you might feel like you're not in control. So also just looking at the inverted 2 of cups, the inverted 10 of cups, and the chariot inverted. So yeah, imbalances maybe in our relationships, our close family relationships, or our close loving relationships, whatever that means for you. Could be in the house, might not be, might just be close family and friends. In the inverted chariot, you might feel like you're out of control within a situation. You might feel like you're lacking control. Or maybe you feel like you're not in control. It could be that you're not taking action at this time because you're also the inverted king of wands, but it also could be that you feel out of control regarding how people are feeling, like your close family and friends or relationships. Like maybe if you are going through a transformation, maybe that is causing some kind of like imbalance in relationships, or maybe people are just going through their own stuff and it has nothing to do with you, but it's around you. I'm not sure. And maybe the inverted chariot is saying like you feel you don't have no control over how other people are feeling. You have no control about how other people are going to perceive things or take things, right? Like you don't have control over other people. You only have control over yourself. Okay, so that's part of like fall in love with your own story. Like release the control of what's going on with the people around you and their fulfillment and their emotions and their roller coaster. The inverted king of wands, you might not be bringing forward might not be love, but it could be love. You might not be bringing forward that passion or that connection or that reciprocal stuff to the people around you. And that's why they're inverted, because you're shifting. Hopefully some of this resonates. Okay, Spirit, let's get one of my decks, like one of my cards from my deck. That's what I meant. Let's get one of my cards for this inverted chariot, inverted 2 of cups, inverted 10 of cups. Okay, these ones are all poking out, but that's a lot. These cards are kind of hard to shuffle. Okay, I had 4 pop out, so I'm just going to take them. Water, enlightenment. Oh, I had 5. Okay, water, enlightenment, alignment, resistance, sovereignty. Okay, well, I feel like sovereignty, alignment, and enlightenment all go together. I was talking a lot about like awakening and like the feelings that you can have as you're going through that process are not always shiny and fun, right? Like I was saying that it can be that we actually have quite a difficult time when we're first awakening to, do a deeper truth. Like it can be a bit unsettling and overwhelming. So I was talking about that a lot. And now the cards sovereignty, enlightenment, and alignment have come up. So probably is kind of prevalent that I talked, or relevant. It probably is relevant for me to have talked about that. is what I was trying to say. Also water and resistance. So like just that right away got like, let it flow. You're resisting a flow maybe. Like you're not in, okay. Emotions too. Emotions, resistance. Maybe people around you are resisting emotions or not working through them and are not in control of their emotions. I feel like you maybe, because the Emperor's here, and I just feel, along with Revolution and Confident, they were the first ones that came out, and transformation cards and stuff. So I feel like maybe people are feeling some resistance to you and your spiritual authority and wisdom and transformations that are happening. Like maybe people are resisting, or maybe that's triggering emotions in people, and people are resisting that. And that's why you have the inverted 10 of Cups, the inverted 2 of Cups. Okay, maybe maybe others are feeling out of control with the inverted Chariot. Okay, Okay, so sovereignty, alignment, enlightenment, and you're feeling out of control. And you're feeling out of control. Sorry, that's supposed to be inverted in this one too. So maybe the people around you are feeling out of control right now. Maybe you've already worked through that. Maybe there was success in a transformation. Maybe there was a success in a transformation, and now you're sitting pretty as the Emperor, and your soul shines with your wisdom, and you're confident, and you've had your revolution, and your wish has been fulfilled, but maybe you have or have fallen in love with your own story, but maybe the people around you are feeling out of control, or that with their own emotions and own stuff that's coming up, and they're resisting it a little bit. So interesting, like I'm realizing as I do this more that when stuff comes up and I just talk about it, I don't really know necessarily why, but I'm wanting to trust it more. And then it seems to all come together. So you know what you're doing. Thank you so much for your assistance, Spirit. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Okay. Let's get one for this inverted king, please. I want to see if that is playing into what I was talking about with this inverted chariot, and or if this is something else that we're talking about. Inverted King of Wands. Woo! Loneliness. Okay, give me... Sorry, really having issues shuffling these cards today, and I don't want to take half a deck, right? Those can't all be for you, so I want to make sure we get the ones that are meant for you. Okay. Let's take that one. Broken heart. Oh, okay, and sorry. I get excited when things click. That inverted 3 of Swords I saw as I was shuffling. So that would be if it was upright. Oh, I have 2 cards that are upright. Synchronicity and authenticity. Okay, that might be significant to someone. Anyway, they were both upright on the wrong way. So I also just threw a couple cards off the deck. Or the desk, not the deck. And they are... You are living poetry and you are the muse. So why not? I mean, I have to look at them. I just 2 flew off. That's a 5 and a 3. So expression and changes. Could be creativity too, right? But also expression and changes. You are living poetry. You are the muse. That's positive. That's good. That's all in success and transformation, and your soul shines, and revolution and confidence. So yeah. Okay. Very nice. Anyway, back to this inverted King of Wands. The cards the words that came out for you here are loneliness and broken heart. And both of these are green. So that's heart chakra. Okay. So the 3 of Swords that I saw earlier was inverted though. So it's an easing of a broken heart, or it's the worst of the broken heart is over, or Maybe this King of Wands is part of this relationship. Maybe this King of Wands is whoever is the inverted chariot. Maybe they're together and someone is feeling out of control with their emotions and resisting them, and they feel lonely and have a broken heart. And that's the imbalance in the Ten of Cups and the Two of Cups. That's the imbalance. And maybe it's like you're the Emperor and your soul shines and there's success and transformation, and the Death cards, there's been a rebirth, you know, and you're falling in love with your own story and you're confident and you're revolutionizing stuff. And it seems or feels like someone feels like they're being left behind, or maybe a group of people. I'm not sure. And if it's coming up in your reading, then it, to me, would kind of imply that maybe it's been pulling at, okay. I love it when it all comes together. As I was listening to music, meditating earlier, I was really, really honing in on like the sound of like the guitar strings being plucked. Boing, boing, boing. I won't even try to do that noise. But yeah, I was really focusing in on that. It's like when someone's plucking the guitar strings, and it was like, I was just zoning in on that sound so much where I could almost feel like something was tugging inside of me, and it made me think like pulling on strings, like something's pulling on our frequencies, our I love how I try to explain things sometimes. Bear with me. Okay? It's like you have all these, let's imagine guitar strings running through you that are tight and attuned to your crown and tight and attuned to your root, right? And when you pull those strings, it like makes a reverberation or a sound, or there's a frequency that comes from that, right? So it's like there's some kind of energy that's plucking on those strings and maybe disorienting us a little bit. That because I didn't know how the strings came into it earlier, but now looking at like it's coming up in your reading is what I was saying. It could be that this awareness of maybe someone or people struggling is pulling on your strings a little bit. And maybe the Three of Swords inverted is you. Like you were going through a period of your own dark night of the soul and your own confusion and distortion and upheaval. You've already gone through that process potentially, maybe, or a lot of it anyway. And so now you're coming out of that like Three of Swords, of that like mental anguish, of the readjusting and realchemizing to a new world, a new reality. Maybe you've gone through that, so that's why you're the inverted Three of Swords. So it's like it's easing and it's kind of in the past, and we're kind of getting more clarity, or in terms of getting more motivated or more clear on our path, ourselves, what we really want, you know? But there's like these strings being plucked, like these like reverberations, these like feeling sensations in your body, because you have awareness about this loneliness and this broken heart that someone else may be going through. Maybe you are leaving someone behind. Maybe your success has I also know what this can feel like. It's probably still playing out for me as well, in terms of someone else's water or emotions experience effect. It's pulling at my strings, and it does. I mean, we love, like at our core, what I've said many times, we are love, service, and grace, and we are all connected. So we don't want to see people hurting or in pain, right? We don't want to see people struggling. Yeah, I also am seeing like the sovereignty, alignment, and enlightenment. I talked about it being like someone else is kind of going through that. And that's where that like the heaviness can come in when we're readjusting to life as we know it. But also I'm seeing this now, like looking at it as potentially you are moving in, like are receiving enlightenment, are moving into your alignment and moving into your sovereignty. Like you're going down that path with the people around you. It's causing emotions and they're resisting this process and they feel out of control because you're just confident in your revolution. You're the emperor, you know? You're going for your wish. You're going for your wish. But the people or the community around you are struggling with this a little bit. Okay, let's get some support for the collective. Okay, Spirit, let's get some support. What's the advice? 3 cards. Didn't even need to shuffle. The advice is the Lovers, inverted 8 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. The advice is the Lovers. The advice is I need to make a choice, potentially. I need to make a choice about, I mean, the Lovers, it's also like the relationships in our life, right? And can be like the deep soul relationships in our life as well. The Lovers and the 2 of Cups together. And the 10 of Cups. I mean, this could be a relationship. Like a partner, a romantic partner. Picking up that really strong. So that's going to be probably for a lot of you, but it might not be for everyone. It could just be like a close family relationship, a close friend relationship, or multiple people. But it's like the choice of like, okay. One moment. Oh, I just clarifying something. Yeah, relationships, meaningful ones. Yeah, so relationships. Okay, so relationships, people around you are feeling out of control. Maybe they don't feel out of control in their life, but they feel like they have no control over you. Like they've lost control over you. Like you're the emperor and you're moving forward in your life with confidence and revolutionizing your life, moving towards your alignment and your sovereignty, you know, and it's maybe people feel like they can't control that, like that, they hands off, like they're just watching it, but it's causing it pain, like loneliness, a broken heart. There's a King of Wands inverted. So I feel like there's divine masculine who has a broken heart or is lonely. And no gender. It doesn't necessarily mean a man, but it's divine masculine represented by the king, right? So however that fits into your world, however it resonates for you, you will know best. But yeah, relationships, choices, conscious soulmates, divine connection, conscious connections, love. But also I need to make a choice, right? It's a choice of like, what way do I go? It's choices that wrench the heart, potentially, that can hurt. Okay, the advice is need to make a choice regarding this relationship or this dynamic in your life. The advice is the inverted 8 of Wands and then the Page of Wands is like the new page, is like the new beginning. It's like the leaf with all the dew on it, but it's also like the not like other cards could represent that as well, but for me, that's this energy in this reading would be that. The Page of Wands also has the curiosity, the enthusiasm, and the drive to go out and create in the world, like bring forward their dreams, their like move towards it with passion and excitement and curiosity and enthusiasm. And it's the inner child. And this would also be like the inner child energy of like whatever it was that was turning up the ground in that spot. Okay, so you're turning up the ground and you're working the ground in an area that you feel you can start with right now, but you've closed yourself in because you're trying to protect people, relationships. I mean, I also feel like the Page of Wands I've heard before. I don't usually read it like this anymore, but it's coming to me that it can represent, if it comes up in the reading, that the court cards around this card could have like dignity and loyal and are trustworthy and all of that. I don't usually always read it like that, but it's coming forward right now for me in this reading. So I feel like it's also like you have dignity and you have loyalty, and like you might loyalty on a soul level, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to stay with one person for the rest of your life, but you have loyalty in terms of like, I deeply love and respect you. And the reason why I'm not stepping outside of this fence right now is because of that. Okay? The inverted Eight of Wands, it's also like, that would like, it's fast moving energy that's not moving fast because it's inverted. And thank you so much for your patience as I flip through the book here and there. Yeah, delays, frustrations, yeah, feeling stuck, experiencing setbacks, slower pace or slow progress, or creative block. Okay, so that's that fence that you're in, and you're stuck, and you're frustrated. You have all this energy that you want to charge forward with, you know, you're the emperor. But also like you're holding, like you're excited, you're starting to work on it. You're starting to turn stuff up. You're starting to see what you can shift and change and who you can be and where you're going to go with this. Okay. But you're feeling delayed and stuck, and you can't just go full throttle with those Ace of Wands because there's some relationship strings that are pulling you back. Noing, noing, noing. That's not at all what it sounded like when I was listening to it. I'll stop. Yeah, so the advice is you have to make a choice regarding what you're feeling kind of stuck, and there's a choice to be made, because once you make the choice, whatever, like there's still another choice. Like maybe you've already made a lot of choices. Maybe you've already changed, like maybe not necessarily choices, but maybe you've already made decisions regarding things that have brought you, you know, to a point where you've turned all that stuff up in that fence, you know, like you've already made decisions. But the advice maybe is like, now you need to make the big decision. Whatever that means for you, and you'll know what that means. Because the advice is that there's this little inner child here that's ready and waiting, like he's ready to start. He's happy to go. He's just frustrated. There's delays and setbacks. Like, let's get going. We gotta go. But we have to take care of this choice, the lovers first. Like, we have to take care of this dynamic, this relationship. That feels heavy. I mean, super exciting reading, because you're moving towards your alignment and your sovereignty, and you're enlightened and you've transformed, you know, your soul's shining. Like there's lots of excitement, positivity here. Just feels a bit heavy because it's like, you want people to understand your intentions, and people won't not always understand. Oh, it's probably very cold coffee now. People will not always understand your intentions. And that sucks. That hurts, you know? But that's the way she goes. And we have to be okay with us knowing deeply our intentions and how true they are and how they're rooted in love. And we have to be okay with that. That has to be enough for us, because we can't control how people feel and perceive things. We can't. As much as we want to, we cannot. That's part of life. That's part of how we evolve, is not as trying to understand other people's perspectives and paths. But we have to honor our own as well at the same time. So that gets tricky. Balance. That gets tricky. It requires some balancing. Thank you. Okay, so that's your advice. What is the energy? Let's ask. I feel like, sorry, like going back, I feel like the choice is you already know what your choice is, probably. Like you already know what the choice is. Maybe you've already made the choice. Maybe you did, because they're upset. You know, someone's upset. Someone's feeling like they're resisting all this more. They're feeling lonely and their heart is broken. They're feeling out of control within the situation, that they can't control it. You're wanting to move so fast, and you have been, but you're still holding yourself back a little bit. Because you don't want to, like, if you've already put the knife in, you don't want, like, I don't always explain things very, like, eloquently. But I feel like you'll get what I'm saying, you know, like you've already put the, like you feel like you've already put the knife in the back. You don't want to turn it right now. Like just. Okay, Spirit. Hearing chimes in the background. It's reminding me of the guitar strings, like pulling on your heart, pulling on your heart. That's why you're still, the Three of Swords is still coming up, because it wouldn't even be in the reading at all. It's not here. I saw it as I was shuffling, but like it wouldn't even be here at all if there wasn't still some kind of like painful residue, at least in your heart space, which seems like there is, because there is someone who's experiencing a loneliness and a broken heart. Okay. So the advice, let's get, okay, Spirit, let's get some of my cards for the advice. Just to wrap, I don't know. Because I'm wondering, like, have you already, I'm wondering more about the Lover's card, like, just wanting to get clarity on where exactly you're at, because what is the advice? Is the advice that you should now make a decision, or have you already made a decision? Like, that's what I'm wanting to know, Spirit. Tell me about the Lover's card. Like, is there a decision that needs to be made? Rooted. Karmic Cycle came up again. Oh, it's only 2 going around by you. Karmic Cycle. And rooted. Rooted. Yeah. Karmic Cycle and rooted. Okay, so the Lover's card is about stepping out of that cycle, that karmic cycle that you've been rooted in for a long time. Returning up. I even said like pulling up the roots from like like in that little area, like pulling up the roots there. Like that's us. Like we're doing that inwardly. Like we pulled it all up in our fence. Okay. We've got a little inner child in there doing the work and digging and turning up the soil and like, I don't know, mixing in manure. I don't know what they're doing, but they're like, trying to get it ready for like a new foundation, like a new chapter. Like you're doing that, but you haven't worked on the outside yet because it's still very rooted. You're still rooted in this karmic cycle, okay? And you need to make the choice to cut those ties, the strings, the guitar strings. You need to make the choice to cut those ties. Okay, I feel like Spirit is guiding you to say that you are still rooted slightly in a karmic cycle and you need to make the choice to cut the string, to cut the cord, because it's still pulling on you and reverberating in your being. It's still, like you had success and transformation, like you have your wish, like you've reached completion, you know, those 3 circles, like, you've come together and you've fallen in love with your own story. Like number 9, like fall in love with your own story. Like you're there. You did the work in the inner world. Now you got to take down the fences and start to work outside the fence until the whole scene has been overhauled, right? You're rooted in a karmic cycle still a little bit. This is a decision or a choice to finally cut that cord. That's what I'm feeling like. Because you want to move forward. You're feeling delayed. You're stuck. Something's holding you back a little bit. Okay, let's get a conclusion. We're at 44 minutes. So yeah, let's get the conclusion, Spirit. Okay, what is the conclusion for this collective regarding this situation? The summary, the conclusion, final message, however you want. However it resonates for you, Spirit. Summary, conclusion, final message, closing message. What does this collective need to know? So I saw it inverted when I was shuffling earlier, which could be you, right? Coming out of that pain. Could be. This is telling, the conclusion, the summary is like, you know, there is a broken heart and there is loneliness, okay? And if you cut this cord, and if you make that choice to take down those fences and unroot all of it and get out of the karmic cycle, you know, there might be some heartbreak. You know, people around you might experience some heartbreak. That could happen, okay? But you are living poetry. You're the muse. Fall in love with your own story. And also balance came in, okay? So balance. I feel like that also balances like the justice card. And I feel like that's coming up like, and it's also a 5. 1 and 4 is 5. So changes again, transformation. It's like a change is needed and required. And a stepping out of a karmic cycle is required. And yes, it can feel painful maybe for someone. The Tower is on the bottom. What else, Spirit? Summary, closing messages. Come on. Don't leave us with the 3 of Swords. Come on, Spirit. There's the silver lining. I mean, there's huge, there's a map, like I shouldn't, this is not a negative reading. There's so many silver linings here, but I'm feeling like I don't want you to walk away from this video and be like, oh, I'm gonna leave somebody broken. Like, come on, Spirit. Seven of Pentacles. You've been playing this game for a while, okay? You've been playing this game for a while, been looking at all of the obligations and your life as you knew it before and looking at it all, okay? Rewards following hard work, like you're waiting. I talked about this before in the other video, but I sometimes look at this 1 pentacle as being like there's one piece missing sometimes. And that's coming up for me again right now a little bit, actually. It's like, it's the heartbreak that's holding you back, okay? It's the heartbreak from holding you back from this last piece of the puzzle. Okay. Okay. Been waiting patiently for the time to come where the time will come. The time has come. That's, oh, the time will come though. It's like we're waiting for our turn. Yeah, like rewards following our hard work. Like we've put in the time, we were patient, you know, we've been trying to do this in a way that's not too upsetting for others. We're feeling like we're holding ourselves back a bit. Like we're waiting for it to all come full circle. We're waiting for us to feel like that time or that moment has come where there's a little, like the pain has eased and then we can do it. And then we can do it. But because you're looking at the heartbreak, like you're looking at the heartbreak too. Like you're looking at it like, I'm looking at the heartbreak. So I'm not like working with this pentacle because I'm staring at it. Okay. What else? Fear. Fear. Shadow. Perspective. Okay. Truth on the bottom, and abundance had fell out as well. So the conclusion is that you have fear. You have some fear. Sorry, you're looking over at this heartbreak and you have some fear, and you're maybe in that shadow space a little bit. Like you're in the fear lives in the shadow. So maybe you're in that shadow, in that fear state a little bit, looking at the heartbreak and not moving towards adding this last pentacle in with your rest of like That's the last piece of the puzzle that you haven't done yet because you don't want to hurt someone. There's a broken heart in here. But perspective. Okay, so, and then abundance. So it's like, to me, it's like, put it in a new perspective. Instead of focusing on the pain, the hurt, the broken heart, and putting it in a perspective that you are the one causing it, change your perspective. Okay, because your perspective is what's holding you back. Not this other person. It's your perspective around this. It's your perspective around you and yourself. Okay, so change your perspective. And then you unlock your key to abundance. Your wish, abundance and your wish. Your cups are full, right? You're fulfilled and you're in fulfillment. Okay? Change your perspective. Your perspective is keeping you in fear and in your shadow, especially your perspective of yourself. Okay? You are not the bad guy. If you need someone to tell you that, you are not the bad guy. You are your own person with your own sensations, feelings, and desires and paths and wants, and you've changed. And that's okay. We shift and we change and we adapt, and we're not the same person throughout our whole life. And these kinds of things are inevitable. You are not doing anything to anyone, okay? Change that perspective, okay? Maybe when you do something for yourself, it may affect the way that someone feels, okay? But that's also, while we have empathy and compassion for everyone around us, it also is a perspective of that's their perspective that's keeping them in pain, right? I have to change my perspective and you have to change yours. You have to find the perspective of light. You have to find the perspective of compassion. You can find the perspective of truth. Find the perspective of clarity. Clarity bringing abundance and not pain. Like, just change the perspective, which is so much easier said than done. But once you play with perspective a little bit in little areas, you realize how easy it really is. Then when it comes to big areas of our life, it's a little bit tricky to completely overhaul perspectives in a day. But, you know, it takes awareness and intention. That's where you start with anything and everything. And through awareness and intention, you can literally achieve anything and everything, as long as you're patient, okay? Patient with the Seven of Pentacles. Intention and awareness. You've been working forward with your intention and awareness, okay? You are living poetry. You are the muse. You are love. Your soul shines, okay? You're getting so much validation here that, like, you are moving towards your alignment, your sovereignty. You are enlightened to some degree. You've had some kind of a transformation. There was success in it, okay? And you're, like, here at your wish fulfillment stage, okay? You're there. You've already done a lot of the inner work and turned up all that stuff and unrooted stuff, right? That wasn't serving you anymore. You've already done a lot of that. Now we need to do one of the last pieces of the puzzle. By the way, I'm not saying necessarily that means that you finish this one last lesson and then you're done, check, like this life over. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about whatever this karmic situation is. This is the last piece of the puzzle. It feels like for that specifically. Doesn't mean you don't have other lessons, other karmic things going on with other people. This is just talking more specifically about this relationship. Or if it's a group of people, feels more like it's about a person specifically, but it could be a group of people as well. You take it how it resonates, but it's about this karmic cycle with this individual, okay? And the strings, there's chords, okay? And it's pulling on you, like their emotions are affecting you, okay? Your transformation is affecting them, yeah. The validation is you are in your alignment and you moving forward. Okay, the validation is that you are not going to do anything to anybody, okay, except your intention and awareness. Is your intention to hurt someone? No, game over. That's what I'm trying to say. Your intention is not to hurt someone. You don't want to hurt someone, okay? You're going to do it. You're going to move in a way that is going to be as Considerate as possible is what I'm gathering, because you've been holding yourself back for a long time. So you're going to be moving in a way that's considerate as possible. Okay? Give yourself permission to take the step. From soul to soul. Give yourself permission to take the step, because I know you're in your highest intention. I know you are. I know you are. And I know that you're loved. And I know that you love them. And deep down, they know that too. They do. Even if they are hurt, they know that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope that brought some validation to somebody out there. I'm going to edit that last part out. So you're going to see I edited it. I went on and on and on and on about stuff that had nothing to do with any of this. And I do that sometimes. So I apologize. I'm going to edit that out. But love, love, love to you all. Thank you so much for joining. Can't wait to see you again. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Okay? You got this. See you next time. Goodbye.